New year, new body. According to a poll by Forbes Health, that is the goal for nearly half of the people surveyed for their 2024 resolutions. In that process, many of people will turn to fitness supplements for help. Our Nomi Sanchez speaks with some experts for you to get more information on what you should know before you take anything.
For Zaylin, getting the physique he has now took time, dedication, and some supplements. Protein powder, creatine, and pre-workout making up a few.
It makes you feel a euphoria almost throughout your workout, gives you energy to keep going.
Store manager at Supplement Warehouse, Gary Duckett, says for those looking to lose weight and build muscle, he recommends this.
It would be a protein, some creatine, depending on how they are with caffeine, maybe give them some pre-workout.
Recent reports by the National Institute of Health show that these ingredients are among the most common in the fitness industry.
Well, again, we're keeping the protein in there because it's going to always help with rebuilding, repairing the muscle. Creatine monohydrate, more specifically, is going to help build that muscle mass.
However, Senior Medical Director at Oak Street Health, Dr. Anna Poulos, advises consumers to be cautious, especially with energy supplements like pre-workout.
Anybody out there who's considering it, please check with your doctor first. The ingredients are variable. There's typically a lot of caffeine in most of these.
Now, the Food and Drug Administration cites that it is safe for adults to consume about 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. However, caffeine in powder form is much more concentrated, and even if taken in small doses, if not regulated, could lead to dangerous effects.
Can cause increased anxiety, depression, sleeplessness.
For people just trying to build a healthy routine, Dr. Poulos recommends this.
I think it's more important to eat healthy, get a good night's sleep, and incorporate daily exercise into your routine.
Nomi Sanchez, KLTV 7 News.
Workout and dietary supplements are not screened by the FDA for safety and effectiveness. Dr. Poulos says that in most cases, a supplement generally safe to take on your own is multivitamins.